so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the London Bulldogs. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway here in London. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak. It's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Up the middle they go. Stanford. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5. They'll set up to throw. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 30 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now a handoff up the middle. Stanford, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10. Off the play fake. Caldwell. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. He's really putting together a spectacular season. That interception, number 11 now in the year.
And I know we're all taught that 7 is a lucky number. I'd say 11 is for him, huh? No doubt about it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to air one out. Touchdown!
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And they'll send the tight end in motion. To throw on 3rd down, Caldwell. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Quez Watkins, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From his end zone, Wilson. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Their own 17-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him, but whatever's going to...
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take over, they'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit, and number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, Stanford. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. but you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. That's good for 28 yards. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Up the middle they go. Stanford. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd down now, Stanford. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
And it's 3rd down.
21-0 our score after one.
The score, Eagles 21, Bulldogs 0.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. This is a 26-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
From his end zone, Wilson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. To throw on 2nd down. Caldwell. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd down, Stanford. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
On the set. Ready.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Receiver, the ball carrier. Tackled back at the 46-yard line.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. They'll try the left side. Stanford trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, Stanford. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good, and the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now.
Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He's got a man complete. The 20. And touchdown.
Drake London,
76 yards.
and the Bulldogs are able to cut into that deficit. And now Lovie Smith sends the call out. They're going to go for 2 here. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll get in, and they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here,
and now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Derek Stingley picks it.
And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not reign.
Touchdown! Dalton Schultz, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Bulldogs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Point after, right down the middle. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They'll look to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Out of the gun now on third down. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. Stanford. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On second down now. Stanford. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now from back at the 5. This is third and goal. They'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will make this a 19-point game. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From his end zone, Wilson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it?
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon getting set for quarter number 3 here. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
From his end zone, Wilson. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
in the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit.
A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
They'll run on 1st down. Stanford. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins.
And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
1st down, Eagles.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Up the middle they go. Stanford. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out on the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. They'll drop to throw. He's got it. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From his end zone, Wilson. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing to start the drive, Caldwell. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end?
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. The sack will push him back only a couple yards, but certainly not what they were hoping for on first and goal. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Back to throw here. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there, with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Eagles take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one.
And now here is another interception. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield, because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The kick by Elliott is good. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
First down and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Off play action. Caldwell. And my goodness, another interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles will take over possession here up at the 44. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Stanford fights through him.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 2nd down, Stanford might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
3rd and 5. This will be the 8th play of the drive. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their...
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They run the counter. Stanford. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Jalen Petrie coming up to bring him down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a give, right side. Stanford. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Off the play fake, Caldwell. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
First and 10, it's Pierce.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. And, Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.